Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery, putting together another quick video on some of the really nice Reates that I worked on this weekend. Really happy with the quality on these. I just can't say enough about them. This will be just a quick video to show you kind of what I have in stock and what I've done lately. I do like to keep trying to change things up and keep things interesting, so I will go ahead and show them to you one at a time. Let me go ahead and pull a couple of these out real quick so we have a little bit more room as I knock things all around, which is never a very good deal. So, real excited about a number of these that I have here today. The first one, which is the one I want to show you, I'm going to go ahead and try and zoom in on it and see if that color is going to pop. As you guys know, the purple is very hard to make show up in a lot of these videos. What I've done, this is the new Reate Fallout. This was the acid stone washed version. I've gone ahead and buffed out the handle really nicely, did a nice green base, and then sanded all the high points, made them purple so it almost looks like all those ridges are like purple ribs. The pocket clip has been buffed and the edges are purple on that as well, and I've anodized the hardware purple also. Back it back out a little bit and we'll pick it up. See if we can get the video to really pick it up. You're getting a little bit of a view of the purple that's in those high ribs. It is in every portion of the rib on this knife. So it turned out very, very nice looking. I did the back spacer the same purple. The four screws in the back are a gold purple. They're a little bit more purple than is showing there. Not quite the same purple as the pivot. For some reason they just did not want to take the same color. The pivot is kind of a purpley blue. I know it shows up a little blue in the video, but it really is much more purple in reality. Very happy with the way this one looks. That green base with the purple edges on the clip. If you look down in, you have the purple back spacer. Lock up on this one, right about probably 35%. Real happy with this knife in general. It is a very nice flipper. Thing flips like a champ. That big double ground blade, you've got the hollow grind and then the flat grind, and almost a modified harpoon blade. That is the designer's logo, and of course you got the CTS 204P, which is the steel type. Very, very nice looking knife. Really happy with the way this one turned out. They've definitely stepped it up again. Each knife they do, they seem to incorporate more and more nice little features here and there. As you can see, no screws on the outside of the pocket clip. It's all screwed from the inside. You only see the screw ends on the steel lock bar insert. Again, the screws are from the inside. Those screws and the screws in the pocket clip are steel. They are not titanium, but all of the rest of the hardware is titanium. Centered up very nicely for us. So again, overall this is a newer model. It's buffed out. You got the green, you got a little bit of a shade going through here. I buffed out as much as I could, and then you got a little bit of shade going through all of the texture in the handle. Really fits nicely in the hand. Thumb goes up nicely. There's no real jimping up there, but really locks into the hand very nicely. So very happy with that one. Let's go ahead and jump into two of these beautiful little waves that I did. There is one other one is right here. I love these knives. There's just so much different texture that you're working with on these things. It's crazy. So, sorry, I got a little bit of little fingerprint there. We'll start out with this one. Went with a nice bronze background. Then I blued all of the hardware. The inlay, and it's not as apparent on video as it is in my hand, but there's a rim around the edge of that inlay. That is gold. I've anodized the checkering, the cutout checkering, bronze to match the handle, and then went with a light blue on the top of the checkering. Of course, we're light blue back here for the back spacer and for the pocket clip. And again, a lot like the Fallout, no screws on the pocket clip. You do have the exterior screw for the lock bar insert. As you can see, you can actually see the moisture evaporating on the knife. This is just a beautiful bronze. Really happy with the way that turned out. There was a tiny spot, which is teeny tiny, right there, that was in the handle itself. This started out all acid stone washed. So I buffed the living heck out of this thing. All of it was acid stone washed except for the inlay, the handle, the pocket clip, the back spacer. So I really buffed them out really nicely. Again, hit the hardware with the blue. And it just, these things are a knockout. Perfect little pocket knife for somebody that wants to carry a knife at work. Very accessible in jeans or slacks. As you can see, these are serialized. This one appears to be 310 of 500. And you can kind of see in there how much it's been hollowed out, milled out to reduce the weight. Very nice little lightweight knife. Reate. And then the M390. Lockup is right about 25%. And man, the flipping action on these things is phenomenal. Just smooth as butter. They do have a single row of ceramic bearings in these. They use the double row in their bigger knives, the Horizon D, the Fallout, and the Torrent. All have a double row. But man, this thing is so smooth. It's crazy. So, very nice. I like that back spacer. You do have a spot for a lanyard. Very nice and milled out. Pocket clip is real nice on it as well. Very happy with the quality on these little waves. This one is a true stunner. Now, actually, it's showing fairly true to color right now. The purple's not hiding too much on me. So we've got a yellow gold background. On the inlay on this one, I've got a more of a high voltage blue base, and the high points have been sanded and done purple. Pocket clip's purple, hardware is all purple, backspacer's purple. Same deal on this side. Now this side is acting a little more funny. So like all the high points are purple, but they're wanting to show blue depending on how I have it angled. But man, these knives, I just love that there's so many different things we can do with them. There's so many different textures to it, different levels that can be done, and they flip like rockets. Again, perfect little gentleman's knife. If you got to carry one at work or want to carry one at work, deep carry pocket clip. I didn't put a lanyard on it for that exact reason. If you want to carry it at work, it'll be somewhat hidden. You can see I got some fingerprints there, but this one doesn't fingerprint up very badly. So very happy with this. Lockup, again, probably 25-30%, and centered beautifully. So these little waves are really nice knives. Very happy with them. Gonna go ahead and jump into the Torrents next. Got 2 of those. I went with something a little bit different. I'll go ahead and do the purple blue one first. Of course, video showing mainly blue. There is a lot more purple hue to this thing in reality. Hit all the hardware with the blue. That came silver. Pocket clip screws were silver. I hit it with a little bit darker blue. And yeah, your pivot was all silver as well. So I've done the back. On here is the purple as well. And this thing is just crazy purple blue hue through a purple and blue lanyard on it. There's a lot more purple to it when you get it in person. Flips like a champ. You've got that kind of satin effect on the blade with the flat being stone washed. Gives you a nice little two-tone effect. And you do have your blade stop as an external on this one. It's not the internal pin, so very solid thing. Closes easy as butter. You got just enough weight in the blade to make it close just like that. The waves aren't quite as heavy with the blade weight, so you do have to fold them down a little bit. But these Torrents are really nice. Again, you got that harpoon blade, M390 steel. Lockup on this one's, again, probably 30, maybe 40%. Centered in nicely. It's really solid knives, and man, you just get that nice ka-chunk when you get it open, so you can't go wrong there. This one's kind of funky. So I've got a two-tone green background, and you can see a little bit of fluctuation in that green through here. There's a little bit on this side too. Some of this is actually moisture, but you got a two-tone green, a darker green with a light green, and then I've stone washed it and hit it with the purple. The purple showing up okay on video. It is a little brighter purple in reality. And then I've got a distressed gold purple on all the hardware. Turned out really nice. Very happy with that. Same with the pocket clip. You got that gold purple with the distress. That screw went a little bit more purple than the rest. But definitely I like that gold purple distressed look for the hardware. A lockup again on this one is, again, probably 40%. And again, closes just with the weight of the blade. Locks up with that nice chunk. Can't beat that M390 steel. And these things just feel great in the hand. Very good. A lot of nice different effects on it. You can see how the fingerprints just kind of wipe away. I really like this one. I did the stone wash to help hide fingerprints. I also did that two-tony green, also hides fingerprints, because you can tell it's supposed to be that way. And it does a nice job of just masking any fingerprints that show up, but still, it's not a very fingerprinty knife. So, turned out very nice, very happy with that. Now, we'll get back to the first of my super favorites here. You've got the Horizon D. And I love these knives. You just can't go wrong with these. All of these come with a kind of sandblasted finish. The Torrents are all sandblasted. So the reason I mark these up a little bit, I mean, of course you've got the MAP pricing on them, but I do mark them up because there is a lot of buffing that goes into these knives. So I get some guys that are a little like, can you do anything on the price? No, not really on these. There's just so much time that goes into buffing them, and then all the additional work. And I do a lot of extra anodizing on hardware and that type of thing on these. So we've got a really, this one here is just a crazy stunning purple, really bright purple. It's showing kind of a muted purple, but this thing is almost electric. It's so purple. The gold, yellow gold turned out really good. And then the green has kind of a two-tony texture to it. Still very buffed, very nice looking, but it does have a little bit of a two-tone look to it. So I'll show these one at a time. I'll start out with the purple one. Like I said, this one is crazy purple. It's a brighter purple in person than you're seeing on the video. The hardware on this comes blue. For lack of a better word, the imitation Damascus clip comes in a bronze blue. I've re-anodized, so we've got a dark blue and a light blue in the pocket clip, in the pivot. The pivots are typically silver, the screws in the pocket clip are silver, and then it should have a bronze and light blue in that faux Damascus look. Takes a blue really nice. This thing is a true stunner. Threw a lanyard on it, but crazy purple in person. So if you're a purple fan, this is the knife for you. Nice and centered up. And man, the flipping on these Horizon Ds is just crazy. It locks in so nicely. The weight of the blade is about perfect for the size handle and just feels great in the hand. The Horizon D is probably one of my favorites. Actually, no probably about it. It is definitely my favorite right now in the Reate line. We're looking about 40% lockup on that. Again, you have the steel lock bar insert, so you're steel on steel. M390 steel. Have that nice choil into it that kind of flows into the milling of the handle. You've got the flats with more additional milling. Just a really sharp knife. Definitely one of my favorite models. Let's go ahead and jump into this green. Now this green is a cool green. It does have a little bit of variation. There's a little lighter spot of green here. And then depending on what your fingerprints do with it, it almost looks like you've got a wave of a little bit darker green going through. So you got a lighter base with kind of a textured, darker green going through it. You really got to be looking for it to notice it. Outside, you can notice it a little bit more. I got a bunch of fingerprints on it on top of it. But really a nice green that's just got a little depth in color with that variation. You can kind of see how it almost looks a little brushed with a darker green with a lighter green base. So just a light hint there. I mean, it's still a beautiful green. Again, I hit the hardware with that blue. I like that two-tone blue for the pocket clip and adding the color to those extra screws. So lockup on this one is probably 20%. So it's a nice early lockup on that one. Again, these things just fire open. Nice and centered there again, as always with the Reates, or I'm sorry, Reates. Very, very nice looking knives. Very happy with this one. Buffing these things up and taking that sandblasted mute off of them really adds to these knives. It just makes them pop, gives them a lot more color. This is a very even yellow. It turned out great. Typically yellow tends to be a little darker as you handle it and that kind of thing. I've had a number of them that kind of hold the oils and look darker. This sucker stays nice and bright. So very, very happy with this. Got that bright yellow with the blue on blue hardware. Really sharp looking knife. About 25, maybe 30% lockup on this one. And again, oops, if I don't hit the camera with it, locks up like a beast, flips perfectly, and just a really nice yellow. Fingerprints are not bad on this one at all. You're getting some moisture from my hand, but as you look, it just kind of disappears on its own. So this one is a really good one as far as hiding fingerprints and that type of thing. Well, that will do it on this Reate video for the evening. I will have a number of other videos coming out as well. I did another of the custom knife factory that'll be popping up here really soon. Very happy with those as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.